Imagine a place where even the walls seem to whisper secrets, where staircases climb upward only to end abruptly, as if they were never meant to lead anywhere, where opening a door does not reveal a room, but empty air, a sudden drop, a silent warning that one wrong step could mean death, and where, at exactly 3 o'clock in the morning, when the world is asleep, the sound of hammers striking nails echoes through the darkness without a single human hand in sight. Today, I am taking you to a place in America that should never be called just a house, because this was not a home. It was a trap, a maze built not for people, but for spirits. This place is known as the Winchester Mystery House, located in California. The story begins with a woman named Sarah Winchester. Sarah was not an ordinary woman living an ordinary life. She was the wife of the heir to the Winchester Rifle Company, the company that manufactured one of the most deadly firearms in American history. A weapon used in wars, massacres, and countless killings. A weapon that spilled so much blood that, as many believe, the earth itself became soaked with death. And when blood is spilled in excess, legends say it does not simply vanish. It leaves behind something darker, something restless, something that follows. Sarah's life soon became a series of unbearable tragedies. First, her infant child died in her arms, never getting the chance to truly live. Not long after, her husband followed, leaving her alone in the world. In a short span of time, Sarah inherited unimaginable wealth, but lost every reason to live peacefully. At night, she would wake up screaming. She felt a presence in her bedroom. She sensed someone standing in the corners, watching her breathe. Sometimes she claimed she could hear breathing that did not belong to her. Slowly, terrifyingly, she became convinced of one thing: she was not alone. In an era when science had few answers and belief held immense power, Sarah turned to a spiritual medium, a man who claimed he could communicate with the dead. What he told her shattered what little peace she had left. He said that the souls of those killed by Winchester rifles were angry, that they were no longer at rest, that they were seeking revenge, and that they were coming for the Winchester family. Their next target, he said, was Sarah herself. The medium gave her a single, horrifying instruction: if she wanted to survive, she must build a house that would never be completed. A house so confusing that spirits would lose their way inside it. A house where ghosts would wander endlessly, trapped, unable to find Sarah. And if the construction ever stopped, the spirits would kill her. Driven by fear, Sarah moved to California and purchased a modest home. But that small house did not remain small for long. It grew, and grew, and twisted into something unnatural. Construction began, and never ended, day or night. Rain or sunshine, workers hammered endlessly. Locals claimed that at 3 in the morning, when silence ruled the streets, the house was most alive. Sarah designed the blueprints herself. But these were not normal designs. Staircases that smashed into ceilings, doors that opened into nothingness, windows placed inside walls, hallways that loop back on themselves until your sense of direction collapsed. She believed spirits traveled in straight lines, so she made sure nothing in the house was straight. The mansion eventually contained over 160 rooms, more than 40 staircases, and thousands of doors. Yet even today, no one can say for certain how many rooms truly exist. The house feels unfinished, unstable, as if it is constantly shifting. Construction workers reported hearing their names, whispered when no one was nearby. Some felt warm breath on their necks. Others claimed their tools moved on their own. Sarah told them never to ask questions, just keep building. Every night, Sarah would enter a sealed chamber by candlelight, the room now known as the Saint's room. She sat alone in total darkness for hours, claiming she was receiving instructions from spirits. By morning, new rooms were ordered, new staircases added, new traps built. Visitors later claimed that some rooms only appear at night, that certain corridors feel longer than they should, that footsteps and children's laughter echo through empty halls. In 1922, Sarah Winchester finally died, and the moment she took her last breath, the hammers stopped. The house fell silent. But the silence did not last. Even today, people claim the house moves, that rooms change, that a woman in a white dress appears, only to vanish into walls. Some say the house breathes, that it watches, and that those who stay too long begin to feel like they belong to it. So the question remains, was Sarah running from spirits, or was she imprisoning them? Was this house a shield, or a cage? And if the spirits truly are trapped inside, what happens if one day they finally find the way out? That is why the Winchester Mystery House is not just a historical building. It is a living story. A story without an ending. And perhaps it was never meant to have one. So the next time you hear about a house that creaks at night, a door that opens by itself, or footsteps echoing where no one should be, ask yourself this: what if some places are not haunted because something died there, but because something was trapped there? And what if the Winchester Mystery House was never meant to protect Sarah Winchester at all, but to protect the world outside from what lives within? Because if the walls ever stop shifting, if the maze ever finds its final shape, then the spirits may finally know the way out.